Howdy, howdy, howdy. Stacy here again. Obviously, you would know if you're clicking on my podcast, because then you'd be like, oh, let's see what Stacy has up. So, hey, how's it going? I am actually laying on my bed. Not that matters, but it's kind of funny because I feel like I'm literally on the phone like a total teenager. You know, your teenage girl just like laying down and just gossiping or talking about that crush with your best friend, because I'm literally sprawled out on my bed, laying down, doing this podcast. Usually I'll sit on my bedroom floor and like obviously sit upright and talk on the phone still, because I am using my phone, as you may or may not know. I have mentioned it. But I'm laying on my bed because I am actually feeling a little bit under the weather. My throat on the right side, on the upper right side, is feeling a little achy, and I'm not too happy about it, but I am trying to beat it before it beats me. I have taken some vitamins and just trying to take care of myself, but I did not want that to stop me from recording this podcast this morning, because I've been trying to do better and just, get to these things that I really want to do, and I'm starting to have like a mini little routine for these things, and lately I've been filming a video and then recording a podcast. So today I have failed at, well, I shouldn't say have failed, but up until now I haven't recorded a video because my body's just feeling like you just need to lay down for a little bit, Stacy. So I have been, and I thought, well, while I'm laying down, why don't I just record a podcast? So here I am. Hello. Hi. Coming to you live from my bedroom bed. And so that is what I'm up to this morning, just taking care of this throat ache. And I'm generally, it's not like I said tit. Generally, I'm really good at whenever I start to feel like I'm possibly getting sick, or like I've got an itchy in my throat or something. I am really good at taking care of it really quickly so it doesn't advance into something more. Sometimes it's just, you have like a little tiny hay fever. Sometimes you have allergies. With me, a lot it's allergies, but actually I've been really good at that lately. I haven't had a lot of allergies, which is a blessing, because I used to get the worst allergies where I would sneeze and sneeze and sneeze, like literally probably 100 times in like 1 hour. Maybe more. That's an hour is too much. Never mind. I take that back. In like maybe 20 minutes, I would sneeze so much to the point where my throat would get so raw, and like my nasal passages, like right in that area where it connects from your throat to your nose and stuff. That is like the worst part to get a sore throat for me, because it just, when you breathe in through your nose, it like bugs you. When you breathe in through your mouth, it bugs you. Anyway, so I would get the worst allergies, and I would get itchy eyes, and I remember just being in the shower, just itching my eyes so much to the point where my eyes got raw too, and they would get red, and it was bad. But thankfully, I haven't had allergies that bad in a while, and I finally found something, an over-the-counter. Actually, I don't know it's not over-the-counter, because I think, or maybe it is. I don't know. My mom got it at the hospital, and she had said that they will only allow you to get that medicine, I believe, once in a certain amount of period of time. You can't get it more than twice. Like, you can't, it's not something that you can just buy all the time. Like, you have to, it's something weird like that, but that just lets you know that it's not just anybody could just go and get it, or have it all the time. So that medication, or I wouldn't even know what to properly call it, but the allergy pill is literally one that has worked wonders for me. Back in high school, junior high, that's when I had them the worst. Back in junior high, now we're talking years ago, okay? That was when I had started taking, I think it was Benadryl. But it would make me so drowsy. I would literally fight, like, my tiredness in class. I remember sitting there, I don't even remember, maybe it was history or something, I don't know. But it was the class that I was just literally would always just hate the fact that I had taken that, because I was so tired. I would literally be nodding off. I'd be fighting to keep my eyes open. And it was just a terrible feeling. Like, when you're so tired, you can't concentrate. You can't even, you can't think. You can't speak really, because you're just like, oh, I don't even, it just takes so much energy out of you. And that was me every single day. And it was just the worst. But as soon as that was a class right before lunch, which I think it was third period. I'm not too sure. Maybe it was fourth. I think it was fourth period, but I had lunch right after that. So after that, I was like, oh my God, thank goodness, because now I can walk and I could feel better, but back then I don't think I really knew about drowsy and non-drowsy, or maybe it wasn't out. I have no idea. But then I ended up getting on some non-drowsy Benadryl, and it helped me a lot. It was much better. But those days, I still remember that one day that I'm talking to you about, that's like the one that like resonates the most in my mind when I think about the times when I had the worst allergies ever. That is that one moment when I just remembered how tired I was, and I just put myself back in that body. I mean, in my body, but like in that image, in my mind, I can feel myself sitting there and just being deadly tired. But anyways, thankfully I haven't gotten that. But with these allergy pills, it like kicks in quick, and it helps so much. Although I do resort to only taking half of it, because it really makes me feel a little paranoid and which is weird, but also very anxious and very light. And so I don't really like that feeling. And, but it does help. And sometimes if it's really, really bad, then I'll take the whole entire pill, but it will kick in so fast. So that, it was like my little mini savior right there, because I know I can count on that whenever I'm feeling the allergies, and it helps right away. But anyway, enough about that. I don't even know why I got on that topic, but the last time that I was sick, it put me out for literally a week, and I was so devastated because I was on this roll of making videos, working hard, doing everything I had to do, and then out of nowhere I got hit with, I'm assuming what was the flu, and it knocked me out for a whole week. It was just crazy having to get back into the swing of things. And I got really anxious too, because I just laid in bed and I couldn't do anything. And see, the thing is, I would have loved to edit while I was sick, but because I had such a migraine, I had a headache, and I was stuffy, I couldn't sleep. It was just all bad. I wasn't tired. It was just bad. So I was just super anxious, and I couldn't edit. I couldn't really do much because I couldn't really sit up or look down or anything like that, because just the head, I just felt like so much in my head, like everything in my head was swollen. But yes, thankfully, knock on wood right here on my bed, that I'm not one to really get sick a lot. So I'm incredibly thankful for that, because when I do get it, at least that time I did get it really bad. But before that, I would get a little cold here and there. It wasn't too bad, but thankfully it's not something that I really get a lot, or that I do suffer from a ton. So I'm hoping to just beat this today, and it's not bad at all. I just know that it just feels uncomfortable, and I feel like it may be the beginning of something. But with everything I've taken so far, I'm starting to feel a lot better, and I swear by this, apple cider vinegar really does help out so much. If I am not 100% confident enough to say that it cures it right off the bat, it helps immensely. I know you might be like, ew, but I personally love apple cider vinegar. I love it. I swear by it. I live by it, So what I usually will do is I would mix water with look it up for sure, because I don't know the proper measurements. Then I don't want to say anything like that. But for me, I will do I'll literally just pour it in, because I already kind of measure it out in my mind of how other times when I measure it. So I usually will do a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar in a jar of water. And then I would just sip on that all day, or throughout the day. No, actually, wait a minute. That's the lemon water. My lemon water is what I sip on all day. I just squeeze a lemon into my water. But the apple cider vinegar, I don't know if it's bad for you to drink that much, but I don't drink more than that. You know what I mean? I just do that once a day. Maybe sometimes when you're sick, you could just mix it in your water bottle and just sip on that periodically throughout the day. But everybody's different. You should definitely only follow the the way that your body works and what works for you and what doesn't, obviously, because I'm not anybody. I'm just, giving you my little tips and advice. And so when I am sick, but like if I'm really, really sick, then yes, I do drink a little bit more than I would usually, but a day, but if I'm just like on a normal, like right now, how I'm starting to feel sick, I will drink that apple cider vinegar. Oh, and I add honey into it, by the way. So water, honey, and apple cider vinegar. Sometimes I'll add in like fruit, like orange juice. I like to mix it with orange juice. That's what I've been on a lot, like orange juice and ACV. I'll put it in, and it tastes really good with ice and a little bit of water, just to water down the sugariness of the oranges. We have an orange tree in the backyard, which I love, and we're actually on our last oranges because they're the new, like all of the old ones are out, and now the leaves are growing again. There's new little tiny baby green oranges growing that I'm pretty sure they're going to be ready for December, or in December, I believe. I don't know. It could even be January. I'm not sure. Anyway, so I'll like make myself some fresh backyard organic orange juice, fresh squeezed orange juice. Add my ACV in there, and water. And obviously I don't put honey in there because it's already super sweet, but yeah, that's one way to do it. And you can also put lemon in there. There's another concoction that I also like to make that I've seen. I don't remember if it was Dr. Axe that I seen it on. Anyway, I'm probably blabbing, or Pinterest. I don't know. It was one of them, but it's like I believe it was Dr. Axe, but I think it's cinnamon, cayenne pepper. I don't even remember. ACV. I think it's ginger. But I think that recipe calls for ground ginger. I don't remember what the hell happened to my ground ginger, so I just literally get a piece of ginger, like the root, and I make it into a tea. Like I boil it, leave it sitting for a little bit, then I pour that into my mug, then I put everything else that I just mentioned into there, and some honey as well, and lemon. That definitely helps you incredibly as well. But anyways, let's stop talking about all this. I can definitely do a little remedy podcast if you ever want me to. I don't really have anything. I just talk about anything and everything on my podcast pretty much. But I do have a topic today, so don't you worry. I'm really interested in thinking about how many people actually fast forward because they didn't want to hear me talk about all this crap. But that's just me. But anyways, we're just sitting here having a conversation anyway, right? Yeah, so after this, I'm definitely going to go and make myself a hot tea, maybe a green tea with some honey, because that is also another thing I swear by, honey, because honey repairs raw tissue, so it's beautiful for that. And obviously, I always hear that Manuka honey is like super, super good. I don't have that, obviously. I have a raw honey, and which is a funny story, real quick. So recently my mom went to Mexico. She went to go visit. Did you hear how I said Mexico? I said Mexico to Mexico. And she went to go visit my grandma, my uncle. And yeah, anyway, she went out there. She came back and she brought like a ton of jars of like honey from out there, like raw honey. So she put it in her suitcase, thinking that like she bagged it and everything, thinking it was gonna be fine, but then she was like, I guess she had thought like maybe I should put it in my bag or something, or I don't know, right? Anyways, point is, the one jar that she had brought that she had wanted so bad, aside from the other ones obviously, but she was like, I should have taped it. That's what she said. She was like, when we got home, she went to open her suitcase to obviously take out her toothbrush and everything that she needed to wash up for the night and go to bed. She's seen that in her entire luggage, the honey had exploded. Like, not exploded, but like you get me, you know what I'm trying to say. But there was honey all over her clothes. It was spilling out. It was all over the suitcase. And she was like, oh no. So they, like my mom and Jess, and we were all just trying to like figure out what the heck to do. And I was keeping the dogs away because I was like, these dogs are gonna literally jump into the suitcase, lick everything, then I'd have to take them a bath and everything. So we were just trying to figure out what to do with that. So she had to clean it all up, and and wash her clothes right away. She put them in the wash, and the washer. And do people say that? Put them in the wash. I feel like people say that. Maybe not. Put them in the washer. Put them in the, put them in the wash. Anyway, so she had to do that, and so that just made me think about that, because that's the honey that what was left. No, I think this is a different honey from the one same trip, but she had brought like 3 different jars plus the one that broke or that opened up. It was a plastic one, so she was like, "Man, I should have totally taped it." So, yeah, but I was just thinking about that. That's the honey from Mexico. So I'll be having some Mexican honey from some Mexican bees. And yeah, I'm going to start on the topic now. Oh, actually, before I start on the topic, I wanted to highlight something or bring something up that was really cool, that I thought that was really, really awesome. And that was the fact that I actually tweeted about this, but it was the fact that I was just randomly on my YouTube dashboard, or how like you go on and it'll like recommend what to watch. And so I was trying, like, I like to sit and edit, but also like when I have time, obviously, but while I'm editing, I will, or like while I'm adding titles in, or creating thumbnails or whatever, I like to watch or listen to music, right? But so yesterday I randomly went on to see what I could do while I was making this thumbnail, or I think I was doing one of the two. So I seen that there was this video, and I clicked on it, and it was like, Shawn Mendes will no longer be using, or isn't using pronouns in his lyrics. And I was like, what? This is awesome. Like, to be a celebrity of that caliber, to be a celebrity and have a voice that powerful, to be able to really set aside everything that maybe the society separates everybody with, for him to make that decision to really not say he or she or they pronouns, right? Just literally make it about that person that's listening can really take it out in any perspective that they want. You know what I mean? They're free to not have to feel like, oh, I would have to change the word from they, or from boy to girl, or girl to boy, or from girl or boy to they. You know what I mean? And look, the thing is with music, it was one of many reasons why music is so amazing, because you can literally interpret any song in any way that fits you and your situation that you're going through, or your life, or however you want to. You can do that. You're at your full liberty to do that, and I think that's amazing. I think that's wonderful. I like that. I love that about music. It's so great. And what's funny is, this is a little embarrassing to talk about, but I'm gonna talk about it anyways, because years ago when I first started my Tumblr, it was me just writing on my blog, just saying, this is what I'm going to be doing for this blog, because a long time ago, I don't know if you know or not, but I was an aspiring wannabe singer. Like, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a singer. And so, I was starting that blog to share my music, to share my thoughts. And one of the main things I would say was, I don't want to use pronouns. Like, I don't want to use his or her. Like, I want to just have it in a perspective of you. Like, you are the one listening to the song, writing this music, hearing this music, not writing, I should say, hearing this music. Like, this is your story, so you take it how you want. Like, it's yours, adapted to your life, but not really having to say he or she, because I wanted to make music that was for everyone, and not have to use a pronoun where somebody feels like they need, like that was meant for one person or the other, or that they can't really identify with that 100%, or you know what I mean? Like, because if you have a song where they're singing about like, oh baby, like, what the hell am I saying? I was thinking about something else. But like saying like, ooh girl, like, I love the way you're, I don't know, something, but you use she, and then but you're a guy that likes that likes guys, like you I guess in some forms you can, because many, like, gay guys will be like refer to others like sister or she, you know what I mean, or like girl, and so it doesn't bug them, and it's like whatever. But when you're like really, I don't know if I'm explaining myself right or properly, but it's just a feeling of freedom when a song has no pronouns because of everything that we've already gone through or go through as a community, so when you see somebody like a celebrity doing something like that, I think it's absolutely amazing. It's admirable. It's admirable because I hear so many things about the industry, about the entertainment industry, and I'm not going to get into depth with it, obviously, because I can't tell you that I've lived through it myself. So a lot of things are stories that I've heard and from individuals who have been through it and tell me about these things, you know what I mean, and stories I've heard all around. And it's super like it's like conspiracy theories. Like you can literally, there's a helicopter going outside, you can literally understand, like you can, oh my god, I'm like stumbling on my words so much today, but you can literally sit there and be like, oh, most definitely, yes, it sounds fucking true. I would not doubt it for a second that it is true. So, literally it's a dog eat dog business and a dog eat dog world, period, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's believable, and trust me, I've seen certain things that I'm like, wow, this really fucking sucks. But it's like, no wonder why so many, like a ton of celebrities end up in really bad, places because of so much that goes on. And not just celebrities, but even micro celebrities, people on YouTube, and you see them falling down this hole, and then you realize why when you get a little taste of it, or when you like hear stories, or you hear the truth that is not out to the public, but you hear it from other people that have been there with them, or these people that have actually gone through it. Anyway, so being that the industry is the way it is, and I think now it's obviously because we are in the era of transparency, a lot of that is like coming out to light, and it's more like people are being able to control more of what they do themselves rather than have somebody control them, because now we have the like a more immense power of the internet, where you are at your liberty to, like people who are up and coming singers, they can post it on YouTube, across all their social medias, Instagram, Twitter, and create their own personal followings where they no longer need a label to help them start off, or even need a label at all to get anywhere, to get on and popping. You know what I mean? Like, that is the power of social media right now. And I think it always has been, but now it's at this all-time like high, but with saying that, I know it's going to get even more, you know what I mean? But it's in the prime time where people no longer need anything else like what may have been needed back then. And I think that is amazing, because it just gives you more control over you and what you do. And that is why I love YouTube so much, because I don't have anybody telling me what to do, what to say, where to go, how to dress, what to put out, my content wise, and myself. I am me. I am my own per se manager and agent or whatever, which sounds really silly for me to say because I feel silly saying that, but like, I am my own producer, my own cinematography, like I'm cinematography, my own director, my own editor, my own videographer, you know what I mean? Like, I'm in charge of all of that, and I have full control of all of that, because I am just, I'm only working, I'm a one person show. So I think a lot of the industry is shifting to that. When I first started editing and I graduated from film school, it was like the whole being able to do everything yourself was barely starting to pop off. And as soon as the years go by, it's like people are looking for somebody who can do everything, so they don't have to hire out so many different people, and literally just focus on one person that can get the editing done and get the shooting done and get the, location scouting or whatever it could be, all of that done. So they don't, it just cuts back on having to go and, just, it's convenient for them as well. And, it's just cooler. You can rely on one person to get everything done. And so that's what they were that's what was starting up when I was barely graduating from film school. But anyways, so as I was saying, so for him to really take this step, and you know what, I honestly don't know. Sometimes I think that it is that men in the industry are favored. Now, I could be totally wrong. I honestly don't know. But from the things that I've seen and learned, sometimes I feel like it is like that. Sometimes I feel like men are favored in the industry and they're superior when it comes to certain things. And so this is why when I see women thriving in this industry or thriving in any kind of industry and they're on top, I get so happy because I'm like, yes, like women power, like this is fucking amazing, and so it makes me happy to see this because times are changing, and I would love to see more and more and more and more women dominating, you know what I mean, and no longer being controlled by maybe an outside force or something that's controlling their career, trying to tell them where to go or what to do and how to dress and all that stuff. And so when I see something like that, I get so proud and I get so happy, and I'm like, yes, like this is so cool. Like I'm so happy for you. You know what I mean? So back to what I was saying. I know I said that like 40 times, but so the fact that he is doing this despite what maybe others around him might be saying, like, don't do that, or it's not good for your career, or whatever it could be, or maybe they're egging him on, maybe they're saying, yes, this is good for your career. I have no idea if this was a personal decision, which I believe, yes, it was. But a lot of times in this industry, like for other artists, maybe they advise them not to do that, so they don't do it, or they what's the word? Like they'll tell them, no, this is gonna damage your reputation, or they don't want them to do it for one reason or another because PR kind of stuff, like for example, my best friend Jessica was telling me that when she went to go watch the star placement, or I don't know what they call them, they were giving NSYNC their star, right, on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Lance was saying that he kept his sexuality, like he kept from coming out. Now don't quote me, okay, this is what I remember vaguely from what Jess told me, but when they were on and pop, and they were like super famous and getting crazy, or starting out, I should say, because it's not that they're not, but like when they were in their prime time, he never came out because he was looking out for his bandmates, you know what I mean? Like he didn't want to come out and ruin, or possibly ruin the chances of anything else happening for all of them, or he was just watching out for them. So the fact that he put his own feelings, and he had to hide that part of him for so long, is admirable, and it's also sad because it's like, like he did it from the heart, obviously, because he was being selfless, and he was watching out for others, for his friends, and the careers and everything. But it was also sad because it's like he had to hide, and he had to fake, and he had to, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm assuming this was because I don't really know, but like, just to think that somebody has to hide and pretend, like, and it goes on every single day with so many people, more people, like probably your favorite celebrities that you are thinking of are probably most likely have to pretend that, and it's sad, you know what I mean? They have to pretend like everything's okay. Like they're feeling like shit, they still have to go out there and put a smile on their faces. Like, we think a lot of us may think that it's all like rainbows and sunshine because they have this amazing career, they have all this fame, they have all this attention, they have all this money, but we never know what they're dealing with. We never know if they're heartbroken inside, or if they're feeling like shit, or if they don't want to be there, you know what I mean? And a lot of times, so many fans give their favorite artists such a like hard time and make them feel like shit, but then they don't stop and think like they are just like us. They are humans. They do have emotions. They do have crappy fucking days. They do have a lot of things that they have to deal with too, and feel like shit over. My dog is barking. So I don't know. I do have sympathy and for artists, and I never, like, I was one of those fans as well, where I just thought like everything, like they couldn't possibly be sad. No way. Like they've got the most amazing life. But then you like realize a lot of things and you're like, wow, like I was wrong this entire time. Like, you know what I mean? Anyway, I'm going off on a crazy ass topic, but I do think that was very honorable and that was very admirable of Shawn to do that. And I hadn't noticed that. I listened to his new album, and I honestly had not noticed that he didn't use a lot of pronouns. I believe there are some songs here and there that do have pronouns, but there's a bunch of them on there that where he doesn't, and I'm not too sure if it's all of them, but I think I had heard that in some of his songs, he doesn't use pronouns, and he's making it something that is something that he's doing. And I don't know if that's from now on or forever. I don't know, but I thought that was really cool. And what he said about that whole thing, he mentioned Teddy, and I'm not going to say his last name because I don't remember I don't even remember what it is for sure, but I never knew that Teddy had transitioned, and I was like, whoa, this isn't like, I didn't know who Teddy was. I'm pretty sure if I would have seen, then I would have been like, oh yeah, I know that person. But the whole like transition, I had no clue, and I think that's brilliant too. I think that's amazing, and it makes me happy to see that somebody becomes so happy in their skin because they're finally living as themselves, how maybe they've always dreamt of living, maybe they've always wanted that but never could, get to that point, or were scared to get to that point. So when somebody is finally living in their own skin and or living how they want to, and doing what they want to do, and no longer being controlled or said or told what to do, or living in fear, I think it's absolutely beautiful. I think it's amazing. And Shawn had said something about how the first time that she said she referred to Teddy as she, he said it was something where he didn't think, he wasn't conscious of it, he just said it without thinking. And he said that Teddy looked at him with this like expression, like this look, the way that Teddy looked at Shawn was like, it was just a beautiful thing. And like, and he said like something about if everybody's best friend could really look at them that way, and this world would be like a better place. He said it obviously better words, but basically from what I got, that was what he was saying, that like there wouldn't be so much hate or phobia. And I think that really resonates with what I always say, that like if you know somebody, if like you're a friend, it doesn't even matter if you identify with the LGBTQ plus community, it doesn't matter if you are an ally or whatever it could be, if you're just being a friend, just being a true friend, and you know that your best friend or your friend or somebody else that you may not be close to is gay or is coming out, is struggling, or whatever it could be, for you to just go to them or to just show them your support and say, hey, you don't be afraid, you can be yourself around me, I am here to support you, I love you just the same, and that kind of stuff, like that. You have no idea how meaningful that is to somebody, especially if you have no clue how bad it is back at home for that person, or how bad it is for somebody else, that may be receiving a lot of hate at school or at home, or, wherever it could be, for you to simply say, hey, you can count on me, you can come and talk to me, you can trust me, I accept you as you are, I don't see you any different, you're still my homie. Like, that is beautiful for that person, especially when they have so much pain in their heart because of that. So if you ever are in that situation and you know that your friend is there, even if they have a great situation back at home and at school, just having that extra support is always amazing. And I feel like if we have more of that it's really true. We become a better place. And you know how many times still today, myself, when I see YouTubers, or I see just everyday people, or I meet friends of friends, and they're supporting them, and they go to like awesome pride events, or they go to their favorite shows with them, even if the singer's not their cup of tea, but they're there because they know that they love that artist or whatever. Then that artist is, I don't know, let's say that the artist is gay or something, and they play a lot of gay music or whatever it could be. Like, they're there to support them, to show them like, hey, I got your back. Like, of course, we can go watch this gay thing at this gay event, whatever, and enjoy it. And that support it's just meaningful. It's just great. It's sweet. And so I find that to be just lovely. I do. I love hearing stuff like that. And I was going to use another example before I got on the whole gay thing. Something about, shoot, this always happens. I lose my train of thought a lot. That rhymed. But yeah, I think, oh, yes, I was saying, so when I hear stuff like that, or when I hear like somebody be like, I'm not gay, or I'm not lesbian, but I truly support, and I'm an ally, and even individuals who will go as far as let's say like sharing something that has to do with the LGBTQ plus community, but they don't really identify any of it like as any of the letters, and they're sharing that, like something, just stuff that doesn't have like this, that does not have anything to do with them, but they still take a second out of the day to share that and to speak up about it and use their voice for good. And I think that that's amazing that Shawn is using his voice, his very powerful voice, you know what I mean? Because he has an immense amount of attention on him right now. And he does do that for good. And he's using his voice for good, I should say. Is there are a lot of people that do have a voice that are really not using that voice for good. And it's funny because I heard something, I think it was on Joe Suggs. Yeah, it was the confessionals that he was doing. He was interviewing his roommate, and his roommate said something that I was like, whoa, like he literally put it into words. He said, because I guess the question was like, what is the one thing you hate about YouTube? Something like that. And the roommate answered, he says, I love it and hate it at the same time. He says, I love that YouTube gives people a voice. And then he said, but I hate that YouTube gives people the voice. What did he say? Oh my goodness, this sucks. He says, I hate that YouTube gives the voice to people who don't deserve a voice. You know what I mean? Who don't need to have a voice. And so I was like, yeah, like I see where he's coming from. And, but he just put it in words. And so I was like, whoa, that's insane. Like I agree. Like I do agree when he says that YouTube has also given a voice to those who really shouldn't have a voice, because they're not doing it for good. They do it for selfish reasons or for the bad, or they just don't take advantage of it. Or some people are just like, you're like, why? But at the end of the day, what can we do? So if you do have an audience and you do have some type of, I don't know, anybody who's listening, it's always a good idea to put out good into the world, even if you don't have an audience, even if you're just, just going about your day, do something good, and, I love the fact that I have the opportunity to be a voice. Maybe I'm not a big voice. Maybe I'm nothing, but I do know that I have a few people listening every single day. And because of that, I have made it a point to be a voice, and to be a positive voice and a good voice, and do what I can to help, even just through my words. Like I don't have a lot to offer, but I have my words to offer. I have my experiences and what I've learned through life to share to anybody who's willing to listen. And yeah, and I know that one day when I have a bigger voice, I'm going to continue to use my voice for good, because that's what makes me feel happy inside. That's what I love to do. And sometimes I just sit there and I see other people who do have a voice, and I'm like, what the heck just happened there? And I'm like, man, the things that I would give to just have that amount of an audience, and to do good and to share, the good. So I'm like, wow, if I can't wait to have a bigger and bigger voice to do all that I've been wanting to do more of what I'm doing now at a bigger scale. And And of course, like, it just, I don't know, it would just be amazing. But anyways, I'm going on and on and on, but I do think that that's great. And I think that Shawn is paving a way for a lot of other artists out there who maybe have to be hiding, or maybe have been feeling like it's not okay for them to do that, or, you know what I mean? Like a lot of, he's just paving the way for up and coming artists, or artists have been around for a long time, or whatever it can be, to show them and say like, hey, you know, like, you know, I'm gonna do this, and I'm doing this, and look at me, I'm actually, you know, it's going well, and maybe this will give you the motivation to do it as well. Maybe, I mean, I don't think he's like obviously saying that out loud, but like through the actions of people, you know, you get the context from it. And I think I definitely just said people's, but through the actions of people, you can really learn a lot. You know what I mean? Whether they're good or bad, you learn from it, and you can take what you want from it. But I really do hope that a lot more celebrities and artists and just individuals in this world begin to realize that this world is far more accepting. I always get confused because the word in Spanish is aceptar, and then in English it's accepting. Anyway, so the world is becoming a better place little by little. On the contrary, I know a lot of people would probably be like, no, it's actually becoming a worse place. But hey, everybody's, you know, it's all in how you see it. But I think it's becoming a far more accepting place. I guess maybe we should say that. And I think that's such a beautiful thing. That's a great thing. And it makes me happy. It makes me happy that compared to years and years ago, when homosexuality was not something that was seen as a good thing or normal, I think now it's being far more accepted, and it's doing good in this world, and it's helping a lot more of us feel a lot more comfortable in our skin, and that's really where I like to come in and try and help those who don't feel comfortable in their skin, and hopefully bring them into reasoning and show them that who they are is who they are, and there's nothing bad about it, and that they should begin to love themselves and just be happy in their own skin, and just enjoy life instead of spending their days just in fear and hating themselves and doing things that they don't want to be doing just because others want them to do it, or I don't know, you know, I go on and on and on, but yeah, and another thing that I wanted to touch on with that whole, though I was talking about the celebrity and what Shawn was doing, is that maybe there's celebrities out there who are comfortable being in the closet and don't really feel the need to come out, and that's great, you know, but at least I think another thing that he's going to be doing with this is paving the way for that, but also giving them that comfort of them like seeing that he's doing something that maybe they wish they could do, I don't know, or maybe that he's saying like, hey, you know, like, I am supporting this and I support you, and no matter what, and maybe that just gives them comfort. Maybe if they don't directly talk or know, or you know what it is, you know what it is, you know what I mean? So I feel like that in a sense could give somebody, no matter who, could be a celebrity, another celebrity, a movie star, which is the same fucking thing. What, I don't know, half the time I say shit over and over again, it doesn't make sense. Or like, you know, ordinary people, or just the average human being, like, they give them that comfort of being like, you know, I'm accepting of you, without even them having to come out of the closet, or them having to say it out loud, or he knowing them. Like, you just get that comfort, and especially you feel that amazing support, especially when it's the celebrity that you love the most, or you're a fan of them, and they come out and talk about these issues, and they show their true, genuine support, and they do things that you wouldn't think they would do, that possibly could get people talking crap about them, or start rumors, or whatever it could be. They put all of that to the side, and they do this, and then it's like, you look at them and you're like, wow, like, this is amazing. Like, this makes me feel so good. This makes me feel so powerful, so motivated, so inspired. It encourages you, and I think that's absolutely beautiful. So whenever a celebrity does anything like that, and can be true in their skin, wow, it blows me away, and it makes me so happy for them. And maybe I sound stupid, maybe I sound silly, and maybe it's like, well, Stacey, what the hell? Like, nobody doesn't fucking matter anyways, because you're like, you don't even, anyway. But I'm just being honest. Like, it just makes me happy, and I want everybody to be themselves. Like, you have no idea how bad I wish I could just flip on the switch for everybody to just be themselves, because I know what it's like to be myself, and I love the feeling of being myself, to not have to hide anymore, to not have to hide parts of me anymore, to not have to be in fear of that, and I can just live and be happy and be genuinely happy, you know what I mean? And I just wish that for everybody else. I do, but anyway, I was actually going to have a topic, but I think this all developed into a topic aside from the topic that I wanted to talk about, but I don't want to make this run any more longer. Is that a word? Probably. We're two words that probably don't go together any more longer. I don't want this to run any longer. And then it stop on me and then have to record another thing, which I don't know if it's going to happen. So if you see another thing that you have to play, it's because I probably did. But with that being said, thank you so much for listening to me. I will be back with another topic. Hopefully my throat is a lot better. Actually, let's be positive. It's going to be so much better by the time you hear the next podcast. And I'm going to go take care of this right now. It's feeling a lot better. Maybe talking is what I needed to do, because it hurts, but not like it doesn't hurt when I'm just being alive, but when I swallow or something, I can feel it, but it's not as bad as it was earlier. And actually, it wasn't bad at all. It's just, it wasn't as intense, I guess you could say. Like, I don't know. Anyway. Whew. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for listening to me. Thank you for spending some time with me here and listening to me blab on. And, thank you. I was in this, I get in this mode where I think like I'm on camera and I'm about to say, okay, you guys, or I'm on YouTube, and I'm gonna be like, okay, guys, so if you want to check out my social medias, please do check out my social medias. But you can if you like. I don't know if they're on here or what. I don't know. I haven't set up my profile yet completely. So, but if you would like to, just search up Stacy Solis and I will be there. That's STACY space SOLIS. But don't put the space in. Oh yeah, you can put the space in. Whatever. You know what? I'm talking too much. All right. Thank you so much again. I will see you. And I won't see you. I always do that. I gotta get better at these outros, man. This is just bad. But by the way, I'm craving donuts so bad. Probably not the best thing to have when you have a sore throat coming on, but I want donuts so bad. Ugh. Okay. Anyway, I will talk to you next time, and you will listen to me next time, because obviously you can't really talk back to me. I mean, you could, but I won't hear it because we can't have a conversation. But I can talk and you can listen if you would like to. Okay. Enough. Remember, if there's one thing that I want to call to mind, there are actually three. No matter the highs, the lows, always be sure, always be certain to do good, be grateful, and stay humble. Bye.